So let's talk about iPads. In this video, I want to talk about what's on my iPad because I love making these videos and I think these videos can be very useful because you may find some applications you didn't know existed based off of my video. That's why I like making these videos, and this wouldn't be a video that I would make unless I ramble on, of course. So this video is going to be a very long video. I've already warned you guys, so keep that in mind as you're watching this video. Actually, I'm going to leave a timestamp in the description if you want to skip to the portion of the video where I just start talking about what's on my iPad, because before I talk about what's on my iPad, I am going to ramble on about what iPad I have and about my previous history with iPad. So just keep that in mind. If you want to skip to the iPad section where I talk, feel free to do that as well. I understand. So basically, I haven't owned an iPad for quite some time. I think the last iPad that I actually owned was the iPad Mini 4, and the iPad Mini 4 was actually made in 2016. That was the last time I made a what's on my iPad, because for me personally, my lifestyle and for what I do, I personally don't need a tablet, and honestly, I have no plans of buying a tablet. Honestly, if I wouldn't have gotten this for a gift, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have bought myself a tablet again, because I already have things like computers, laptops, and a smartphone, of course, and honestly I really don't see the need for me personally to have a tablet again. But I am thankful and I am thoughtful, or I am thankful that somebody did actually buy me a tablet, so I can't complain here. And the tablet that I actually got is actually one of the newer tablets from Apple, of course. I actually got the iPad Air 3. Here is my iPad Air 3 from Apple right here, and this one is one that they actually still sell today, believe it or not. You can walk into an Apple store, or you can buy this at most big retailers right now in their current iPad lineup, which is actually interesting. And the more interesting thing about this tablet specifically is the fact that apparently this is one of Apple's older tablets. It's actually one of Apple's older iPad Pros. What they basically did was they took everything about that iPad Pro, I think the 2017 model, and pretty much stripped down a lot of the Pro features. Like, for instance, it doesn't support USB-C, it doesn't have quad speakers, it doesn't support the 120 hertz Pro Motion display. So you can see this is just a dumbed down iPad Pro from 2017, which is actually kind of funny. And the model that I'm rocking right here, which I got, is just a base model, of course. I was still surprised I even got this at all as a present, so I am pretty happy about that. But this one, again, is just 64 gig, the non-LTE version, so the Wi-Fi variant. But honestly, that's okay, because last time I did actually have an LTE version, and honestly, I stopped bringing my LTE version around, and you do have to pay an extra fee on your carrier just to use it, even if you have like unlimited data or whatever the case may be. They count it as another line, and I really don't want to pay again just to have it when I would only use it like once a month out and about, or when I went on trips and things like that. And if I ever need to use this on the go, I'll either get my smartphone and just tether it, or I'll just use Wi-Fi hotspots, because it's not that big a deal, but it is what it is for that. And then you may also, before I show you what's on my tablet, you may also be wondering right now, what do I actually primarily use my tablet mostly for? And I'm just going to be real with you guys. What I primarily use my tablet for, and what I've always used tablets for my use case, was always for multimedia, whether it's primarily just watching videos, browsing the internet, and things like that. I'm not a person that really needs productivity. If I need to do anything that's productivity like, I would use things like my computer, my laptop, and other devices. I know a lot of people are into drawing, and if you're into drawing and note-taking, then yes, tablets can be very useful, especially the iPad, since you do have the Apple Pencil. But for me, it's just, I don't really need that functionality, so that's primarily what I use this device for, as a multimedia device. More specifically, I use it as a device to watch a lot of videos and a lot of streaming platforms. That's primarily what I use the tablet for. But without further ado, now let's actually go into the tablet, and I'm going to actually show you guys what I actually have installed on my iPad Air 3. Now right here, you can see here is my layout for my iPad, and basically how I have this thing laid out. I pretty much have all the home screens with applications that I rarely use. So if you see anything on the home screens Those are, again, applications that I barely use once in a while. And then everything in my dock at the bottom of the screen is going to be applications that I use on a day-to-day basis. But that does make sense. And for me, I just find that setup a little bit more easier to understand. I don't actually have anything in folders. I know I could probably use folders to clean up my device, but for me, I do not mind having a layout like this. So that's what it is. I know a lot of you are going to be like, why don't you use folders? It makes everything more simple and more cleaner, and you can categorize everything. That is true, but I'm just too lazy for that. So that's the way I actually have my tablet actually laid out. So here, right here on the home screen, on the first home screen, I have a lot of applications that Apple already includes in the box with your iPad. I do have this My Weather application, and this My Weather application I'm not a big fan of. I'm still looking for that perfect weather application, and yes, I do check the weather quite often because if you didn't know anything, I am a pretty active runner and a longboarder, and a lot of times, at least right now, since it is close to the summer and it is spring, it's getting pretty hot outside, so I've always wanted to check like the weather, the temperature, if it's going to rain. Also, I'm a big person that checks the wind speed. One of my requirements is you have to get pretty accurate wind speed, since I always go outside to longboard or skateboard or bicycle sometimes, so I want to know about the wind speed. And so far, I don't like the layout of My Weather. I really need to delete that app like ASAP. I think I'm going to delete it right now, since I don't actually use that application. So there you go. I just deleted that application off my device. Plus, I need more storage on my device. That's the only one I installed on that home screen. The next home screen does have a couple of different applications I installed outside of the ones that came in the box. First of all, we have this yellow application called Mobile Crush, and Mobile Crush is a streaming platform that allows you to stream your mobile device to things like YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, I do believe. If you play like mobile games, or you just want to stream what's off of your tablet onto like a streaming platform, you can actually do that, which is actually can be very useful. The next one over from that is actually a application called Vent, and Vent is a social media platform. It's not too popular, and you may have never heard of Vent, and Vent actually allows you to actually talk about your feelings. Mostly that's why it's called Vent. So if you have problems in your life, a lot of people vent on there, and then you can reply to people on there if you want to cheer them up or just be a friend to them. And I love reading people's problems in life and things like that. The only problem with the Vent application, if I go into Vent right now, you will see Vent is an application like a lot of other applications on mobile that actually doesn't allow you to actually use the application in full screen on your iPad. So you can tell this is pretty much just an iPhone application blown up. A lot of times you'll actually still find a couple of cases to where there are iPhone applications blown up on the iPad, and it's just not a good experience because you can see it's kind of grainy, and the fact it doesn't fit the screen right, it just looks horrible. But I still have it installed because I do like checking it, and sometimes your favorite application is like that and you just have to put up with it. So that's kind of unfortunate for that application. Same thing I think with MeetMe. MeetMe has that problem to where it's not designed around the iPad screen. It's designed around the iPhone, so it is what it is. And MeetMe is more of a dating application, but they do have a live streaming section in MeetMe. That's primarily why I have MeetMe. I love checking on MeetMe to see if they have any cool live streams going on and things like that. But outside of that, I don't really use it to like try to talk to people, to try to like have a conversation or date, because there's a really big problem with MeetMe. The biggest problem with MeetMe, without a doubt, is it's a very old dating platform, and the problem with MeetMe is it has a lot of bots and a lot of sex bots as well. Overall, it's just not a very good place to go if you're trying to look for an actual date or meet somebody, because you'll most likely end up meeting a bot on there. And the problem is you get a lot of bad notifications from it. So if you ever download this, I would highly recommend completely turning off notifications, because you're going to get so many bots that notify you all the time. It's just out of control, so it's pretty much just trash. But for live streaming purposes, you meet real people and you can see them on camera. Very cool thing if you want to try a different platform for live streaming. The next one up that I installed outside of the ones that come in the box is going to be Brawls, and it's a very fun game. Can't remember too much about it since I played it back when I got my tablet for the first time, this one at least, so I don't know too much about this application, but it is a fairly good game from what I remember. Next up, outside of Brawls, I do have the official NFL application. This application is a free application. You mainly use this application for getting news about the NFL. If you didn't know, I'm actually a big NFL fan. I'm not really into sports, although I am heavily into the NFL. I've been watching the NFL my whole life, basically. And the thing is with this NFL application, even if you're not interested in the NFL news and you more so just like watching the games, I would highly recommend downloading the free official NFL application that I have here installed, just due to the fact that they do give you free games each and every Sunday. Now, they give you a couple games in your area, but primarily they're going to give you the team that's closest to you the free game every time they play each and every Sunday, or every time they play each week of the season, which is actually nice. Just keep in mind, you can't choose what team to actually watch unless you like pay a subscription. And since I don't pay a subscription to that, I really only get the team that's around my area for free to view, which is actually nice. So anytime they play, I get to watch them for free, which is nice. And then on top of that, you do get Sunday night games free regardless. You get Monday night games free regardless. I don't know about Thursday night games, but at least Sunday and Monday night games, I'm pretty sure you do get free of charge on the official NFL application. So that's actually very useful right there. And of course, anytime the playoffs are going, you get all those games for free as well. The next one on my iPad is an application called Tubi, and I should probably move this to the dock since I actually use this quite often. And if you're unfamiliar with Tubi, Tubi is a streaming platform that streams stuff like movies and TV shows. And the nice thing about Tubi is it is free of charge. It's not like Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, or anything like that. It is going to be a free application. Let me go into here. I know my video is going to get kind of weird at the moment, but that's okay. You can get a drift of what this application has to offer. But you can see they do have some pretty good movies here. A lot of the movies here, you would think, since it is a free platform, of course, you would actually think would be movies that you wouldn't be interested in, to be honest. You can see this right here, but lo and behold, even though it is free, they are giving you quality content. A lot of these movies you probably heard of, or even if you haven't heard of them, they are top quality. And I would honestly recommend, even if you pay for things like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, to definitely download this application and give this application a try. I think the only problem with this application is just like the basic Hulu that you pay for. There are ads in here, but what can you really expect for a platform that is free? Of course, they got to make money somehow, so ads aren't too bad, and they're not all that bad from what I actually remember, if there are any ads at all. Very cool. And the nice thing about Tubi is the fact that Tubi is actually also an application that actually is on everything. I think it's on streaming boxes as well, like Apple TV. I know it's on the Roku, I do believe. It's also on some smart TVs, so it's pretty much everywhere. If you want to check out Tubi, just go ahead and check out Tubi. I love using Tubi just to find some random movies that I didn't know were on Netflix or anything else. The next one on my list is actually a pretty useful application, and I would highly recommend a lot of you download it. So basically, there's this application called Pocket. It's very old, but basically what Pocket is it allows you to save any article that you find on the internet into the Pocket application, and it's good for offline viewing as well. And if you don't know anything, I actually run this YouTube channel basically based off of news articles and gaming articles, whatever's currently trending in the news for tech and gaming, I usually talk about on this channel. And this application has actually come in very handy. Anytime I want to save something for like the next episode of a video that I'm making, I can put it into this Pocket application, and then I can save it for later, so I can easily find it. And I love the layout. I just love everything about it. For instance, again, if you go to this Verge article, you can see it does save the picture from the article. It does save all the pretty much the document, and then it has the YouTube video embedded as well. So overall, it is very good. I don't know if they have different layouts for this or whatever, but overall it is a very useful thing, especially for me as a content creator here on YouTube. I've used this a little bit, I will have to admit, and I'm going to try to use it a little bit more as well in the future, because like I said, this one is just very useful. It's called Pocket, and it's just a nice thing to save articles that you find online if you ever want to go back to them for whatever the case may be, and they'll always be there regardless of the actual website deleting the article. So if you ever want an article to keep forever, you pretty much got it kept on Pocket. Now let's go to the next home screen. In this next home screen, I do have a couple applications that I actually downloaded. First off, I have Play Memories. Play Memories is a very cool application if you have a Sony product, of course, specifically a Sony camera. You can transfer your videos and your photos directly over to your iPad, iPhone, Android device, pretty much free with the Play Memories application. Don't know what that application is, can't remember, and I'm not going to open it because I don't know. I think it's some kind of image editor, like something that pretty much lets you edit images. And then we have another Meet Me. I think they have two Meet Me's, one for the dating side and then one for the video side. That's why you see two Meet Me's on my tablet. The next up is my PS4 Remote Play application, and the PS4 Remote Play application is very useful if you have a PS4. You can play games remotely, yes. So you turn on your PS4 and you can play them directly off of your iPad, your iPhone, or your Android device. Very cool application. And now that things like Android and iOS officially support Bluetooth controllers natively on iOS and Android, it makes it a whole hell of a lot easier to play all your PS4 games remotely. It's just that I don't use it all too often, to be honest, because the performance is not that great. Even if you're connected to things like hardwired for your PlayStation, it's still not that great. So that's why I only use it when I'm desperate or something like that. But other than that, it just doesn't do much for me. Next up, we have Omelette Arcade. Omelette Arcade is very cool. It's a streaming platform that mostly allows you to stream mobile games to Omelette Arcade. But fun fact, even though they are their own actual website that allows you to stream mobile games, you can actually stream things like games to like YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and things like that. So you're just not locked into their platform. You can stream to outside sources as well and outside websites. That's why I love Omelette Arcade. So if you're trying to get into mobile gaming and things like that, definitely check out Omelette Arcade. Next up, we have LiveMe. Just like the title says, it allows you to watch live streams on the internet of random people. Very nice. Besides that, we have Anchor, and Anchor is a pretty cool application if you like doing podcast. It is a podcast maker and a podcast place to go see different podcasts. And the cool thing about that is anyone can join Anchor. It is free. And the nice thing about Anchor is you can actually make money off of your own podcast for free as well. There's nothing weird about it. Just go ahead and download Anchor, start making a podcast, and if it blows up, you can start making some pretty good money off of the Anchor website, which is actually pretty cool. The next one on my list is going to be a voice recorder. Nothing special about that. And then besides the voice recorder, I do have Streamlabs enabled, and Streamlabs is actually a very good application for live streaming your mobile device, of course, or streaming off of your mobile device. You've heard of Streamlabs most likely if you stream on YouTube or Twitch. Next up, I have Premiere Rush, and that's for video editing. Turns out I don't need that actually, since I don't really like video editing on my tablet. Most of my work here on YouTube has to go off a laptop or a dedicated desktop because I'm not really a fan of using a touchscreen or a mobile device to really edit videos. It's just not my style, and honestly, it doesn't make sense. But I wanted to give it a go just a little bit, and the iPad Air 3 is actually a device that is actually capable of doing that fairly well, even 4K clips. But for me, I'm like, I don't really want to do it. GoPro, very self-explanatory, basically, you get the drift. You can connect your GoPro here, and you can use your tablet as like a viewfinder, or you can transfer stuff from your GoPro over to your tablet or your smartphone. TuneIn Radio and iHeartRadio are the same thing. They allow you to listen to radio stations around the world. Vimeo is just like YouTube, but it's worse than YouTube. I just wanted to check it out to see what I can actually discover. The next one is called Teamviewer. Teamviewer is actually a very interesting application and an actually very practical application. Basically, what Teamviewer allows you to do is it actually allows you to remotely control your PC, which is actually very cool, and it is a free application as well. There is no trickery here. You don't have to pay for a license or anything like that, as long as you're using it for your own use and not like a business or something, I do believe. So very cool application. There has been times where I need to remotely control my PC. It pretty much just mirrors your PC screen, but the nice thing is you can fully control your keyboard and your mouse with Teamviewer. So basically anything you can do on your PC, you can do it remotely from your iPhone, your iPad, or your Android device with Teamviewer. Next up, Reddit. I have the official Reddit actual application, and now that iOS officially on iPads officially support the desktop websites natively on Safari, it's kind of a question, do you actually use a dedicated application for things like YouTube, for things like Reddit, and stuff like that, or do you use the regular application, or do you use the regular website on the internet? Honestly, I still personally always use the dedicated application because, one, it's much more easier to go into. I just click it and I don't have to do anything crazy, and also they do give me notifications. And then sometimes I just like the layout of a lot of these different applications compared to just using the Safari, now that it natively boots you to the desktop version of the actual website. And then of course we do have Flipboard right there, and Flipboard has been a savior so many times. It's basically a news article place that actually allows you to read news articles from a whole bunch of different websites. Basically, you pick your favorite topics, whatever you're into, and whatever you're into, it'll pretty much find all the articles that are currently brand new around the internet all in one place. So it's very nice. You don't have to go to the internet and type in like health, if you're into health, and try to find all these different websites that do different articles about health. It'll combine them all into one application. And the nice thing about this application is, you can see it kind of gives you that flipbooky style animations to this application. I actually really do enjoy it, and it's come in very good handy for me for what I do on YouTube. Of course, I have gaming, technology, and Nintendo here, and I just browse through there to see if there's any articles that I may need to talk about for my YouTube videos. So very good. But also it's very good if you just want to learn some information about whatever topic that you're interested in. You may learn some new information. We got files and we got photos, and then here we only got 4 more applications. iLive was a thing based around GoPro. Can't talk too much about that. I don't even think it works. Need to delete that. Dimensions of D, I think, is a card-style roguelike-esque game. You might want to try that out if you like Slay the Spire, I do believe. And then we have Notes, and then we have TV app. I think this is an application that gives you free programming, but from what I remember, let me go ahead and load it up. But from what I remember, it's not that good. Let me see. I don't think I used it all that often. I think I recently downloaded it, but you can see they do have some stuff here, which is kind of interesting, but it's not that good. It's very hit or miss. And the problem with this application specifically is it takes you to the web, their own embedded web browser. It's very clunky. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're looking for anything, you may find some clips on here, but honestly, it's not that good. And now let's actually talk about the dock, since I wanted to save the dock for last, since all my important applications are going to be on my dock right here. First up, we got Safari, Twitter. It's very questionable what Twitter do you use. Do you use the official Twitter, or do you use something like TweetDeck or TweetBot or something like that? Personally, for me, I've tried other Twitter applications, and I'm stuck with the regular Twitter application. I don't like any of the other forums. A lot of those you have to pay for, and I'm just not a fan of that. And even if they are free, they just never really fit me. So usually I just use the official Twitter application, since I do love Twitter a lot. You'll notice on this tablet I don't have Facebook installed. That's because I'm not really into Facebook. I haven't used Facebook for like 10 years now. I just totally gave up on Facebook. And you'll notice I don't have Instagram as well. That's because I do use Facebook, I do use Instagram on a regular basis, but the problem is with Instagram, at least on the iPad, they don't have a native application, so you have to go into the web browser and go to the Instagram website. Once you go into the Instagram website, that's pretty much how you use Instagram on the tablet for the most part, if you want to fit the aspect ratio. I think they do have Instagram, but it is going to be the iPhone application, so it's going to be very clunky and very weird. It's too bad they don't have an official Instagram application for tablets yet, at least the iPad. And of course, we've got YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, eBay. I started using eBay recently, like to buy stuff and to sell stuff. I'm into reselling kind of, so eBay is very useful, and you can find some really cool stuff on eBay as well. Even if you're not a reseller, you can find some stuff there. That's why I have eBay right there. Sling TV. Sling TV is actually live TV, just like a regular cable subscription. I think it's owned by Dish Network, and no, I do not pay for cable TV. I'm not a fan of cable TV anymore. I just don't find any content I like watching, since everything's pretty much the same old on cable TV. It's just that one of my family members has a subscription to Sling TV, and it's like, well, if they're going to let me use it for free, why not mooch off of them? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I know some of you guys, let's be honest, mooch off of some of your friends, parents, or whatever that don't care about their accounts and things like that. So why not? So that's why I have this installed. And there is some very interesting stuff from time to time with Sling TV. They have, I think, 2 or 3 different packages. On top of that, you do get on-demand stuff as well. It's not just live TV. That's why I do like Sling, to find some on-demand stuff. I've watched some stuff there. Next up, we have Poodle TV. It's pretty much like Sling TV. However, Poodle TV is free for everyone, and it is a must. I'm gonna try to see if I can actually I guess I'll just have to get out of Poodle TV, but trust me, Poodle TV is an amazing application. It has a lot of good TV shows and movies on there, because they all are cable TV channels. But the only problem with Pluto TV is, just keep in mind, every channel on there are going to be old TV shows. There's nothing going to be new on there. So if you want new modern cable TV or shows, most likely you're not going to find them. But they do have over 700 channels, and you may find a show that you really do love watching on there. So that's actually very cool. And that one I really do recommend. Just like Tubi TV, Pluto TV, and Tubi TV are a must download if you're into movies and TV shows, for sure. Definitely good. Of course, we got Spotify, the clock, we got Discord. Since I am a big Discord user, I talk to a lot of people on Discord. I'm in a lot of different Discord servers. It's good if you like talking to people through, like, Discord's Discord. And then we have, yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. That's pretty much all that I have on my tablet right now. And that's pretty much a look at everything that I have on my iPad Air 3 or my iPad Air 2019 edition. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.